I wanted us to share and know which is the election day in America, in the USA. In the USA, there are various levels of elections. I'm talking of federal level. I'm not talking about the state or even the county. I'm talking of the federal, the United States of America. If you study law in an American university, when it comes to studying constitution and constitutionality, you are taught at various levels. They say, okay, this is the federal constitution of the USA, and then if you are studying in this or that state, then they teach you the constitution and constitutionality of the state you are in and counties. So what we are talking about is the federal, and in the federal there are I'm going to concentrate on the presidential election, but there is some differences here. For example, and I would request you to go and watch my videos, last year's videos on the American Constitution. I had recorded 2 videos which talk in detail about the American Constitution. But then the American Congress is divided into 2. There is the Congress House, or the House of Representatives, which we can equate to Kenya to be MNA, Member of the National Assembly. Then we have the Senate, which is the Senate of Kenya. But then there is so many things that if we were to go, you would find that the Kenyan Senate is not exactly that the American Senate, because in America, the Senate is the upper house. But in Kenya, the Constitution, when it comes to defining which is the upper house, the National Assembly or the Senate, it is silent, and it gives them time to quarrel, each one claiming to be the senior house. But in America, we have the Congress. That is why you hear people being called the congressman or congresswoman. That is the member of the House of the House of Representatives. House of Representatives is similar to our National Assembly. In America, all the seats of we can say member of the National Assembly, but there they say member of the House of Representatives. MPs there are elected every 2 years. Then we go to the Senate. The Senate, senators are elected, they are divided into 3. Senators are 100, so they are divided into 3. One is 34, the other one is 33, and the other one is 33. So every 2 years, a senator every 2 years, a third of the senators are elected. A third of the senators are elected. So you find that 34, we could call them Group A. 33, we could call them Group B. And 33 again, we could call them Group C. So in 2024, Group A are going for election. In the next 2 years, Group B will go for election, and that one. So that when we reach Group C, then Group A is ready again to start all over again. But presidential elections in the USA are held in the years that end in 4. 4. Because election, like we had the elections in 2020, we are having election in 2024. The next presidential election will be 2028. That is presidential. So we are going to talk about presidential election, and we are going to talk about why it is on the day that it was chosen. You'll find that In 1845, the US Congress passed a law. The US Congress passed a law saying that presidential elections will be held on first Tuesday following first Monday in November in an election year. First Tuesday following the first Monday. In law, you just follow what it is said, because practically first Tuesday following first Monday is practically the second Tuesday, isn't it? Because if first Monday is today and tomorrow is the first Tuesday, isn't it? Then the first Tuesday, okay, let me correct myself. It is Congress first Tuesday following first Monday. First Tuesday following first Monday. I nearly went wrong. First Tuesday following first Monday. It says that it is the first Tuesday. It is the first Tuesday, isn't it? Because first Monday is today. Then the first Tuesday after today is Sinikesho too. So I think, but you see, in law, whatever is written, even if inakukanganya kizungu, that is you have to interpret them the way it is written. So it is the first Tuesday following the first Wednesday. First Tuesday following the first Monday. I repeat again, first Tuesday following first Monday, which is just the same as saying first Tuesday, but anyway, it is written that way. So you have to interpret the way it is written. That is why we copied and we said, I think the Kenyan Constitution of 2010, it also talks of such a thing, the second whatever of the first August of the election year. Kuna kizungu kama hicho in the Kenyan. So the 2010 Kenyan Constitution was heavily borrowed from the American Constitution. That is when they said that it is on a certain first Tuesday after the first Monday. It is also written that way. And that one was passed in, as I've said, in 1845, when the election was presidential. And it happened that before that time, each state was allowed to hold its own presidential election on any day they wanted. But the election period was spread. It was spread over a 34-day period. That is the first state to hold the elections, and the last state to hold the election were to be 34 days apart. But then it brought a problem, because if your state is about to hold the elections, let's say that is on 25th, and the other states have already held the elections, and you are going to mark your ballot paper, and you know that the candidate, whatever you do, already the leading candidate has more votes than he needs to be the president. So you either vote for the person who has already won, or you just vote for somebody you know is going to fail. So they decided to hold it on at the same time, so that they do not interfere with the voting of the other areas. And why is it that they said that they should have election on the first Tuesday after the first Monday of November? Why? Why did they say hold it on July 16? Because JI-TENGE will, okay, jokes aside. But why did they choose it to be first Tuesday after the first Monday of November? You see, if you look at the weather patterns in the US, and most of the people, that's why people like my videos. It's because I transport you to the world where there was no internet, the world where there was no smartphone, and so on. So I want to transport you back to the 1800s. In the 1800s, most of the people were farmers. they were farmers. So if you look at, they could not hold their elections in December. They could not hold their elections in December because December is winter. Now, how can you convince somebody to go during winter time to go and do what? To go and vote? That one would bring problems. Then they also said, they just looked generally at the weather. They said that December was a bit hard. Then there was several months, let's say spring and early summer. You know, summer is July, isn't it? So spring and early summer, that was around June. They could not go to vote on in June because that was the planting season. That was planting season, so they could not do that. And then they thought of, why can't we place the election day in late summer? Late summer is when? Summer is in July. Hotter than, yeah, July is summer. Then late summer, that is around August, or early fall, October. And then they said, no, that is the time we are harvesting. Now, how can you tell somebody to stop harvesting to and vote? So they said, no, we can't do that. And then they agreed that November, the harvest had been completed, November. And that was before the hash, November, they have already harvested. That is in 1800. 1800, November, they had already harvested. And if they delayed in November, December would be winter. So they said in December in winter, November is the time when we have completed harvesting, and just before winter comes, we do what? We go and vote. So that is why they settled on November. Then it came to which day of the week. Now, which day of the week is good now? And you see, hey, ukienda huko mashambani in Kenya, we have market days, isn't it? We have market days that we say, like where I come from, Friday is a marketplace in such a market. Thursday is a marketplace. So people just know marketplace is rotating. But in America, market day in the 1800 used to be Wednesday. So they could not go on Wednesday. Then they looked for a weekend. Weekend, no. Weekend they can't because Saturday, weddings. Weddings and family get together. What about Sunday? No, Sunday, no. Sunday because Sunday people go to church. You don't expect us not to miss church and go to vote. So let us not choose a day that is. So they saw the best day was Monday and Tuesday, because Wednesday, I said, let us look at it. Wednesday is market day, isn't it? Thursday, I don't know why they didn't do it on a Thursday. I don't know. Friday, I said the Saturday and Saturday were wedding and family get together. So generally, uh, they just came to see that the best days were Monday and Tuesday. Now they settled on Tuesday because in those days they did not. Today you can travel by air from Johannesburg to New York in a day. But those days, for you to leave your farm, they used to stay in a village, but everybody had farms which were distant. There were farms which are distant. So for you to move from your farm to whatever, it took a day with the horses and carriers. Now kubebwa na mkokoteni from where your farm is to where you are supposed to go and hold elections, it used to take a day. It used to take a day. So they felt that somebody should leave his place on Monday, then reach the polling station Monday evening, akilala, then Tuesday morning votes, and after voting starts his way back home. I did not say her, I said his way back home. You know, kindly take it that there's a time in history in very many places where women used not to vote. So that is how they came to that conclusion. And as I conclude, let me ask you a question. Have you heard people saying one man, one vote? I don't I don't want you to go and say one vote, one shilling. No. Hiyo ni siasa ya Kenya. Let us talk about the international thing where they say one man, one vote. It came like this in those years in the USA and other countries which knew voting. People used to vote as per their farm, shamba. If you have 1,000 acres shamba and I have 100,000, no, you have 100 acres and I have 10 acres, your shamba is 10 times bigger than me, then it means that you have 10 votes and I have one. So there's a way they had calculated the size of shamba where it would. So a person with so big land, plantations and whatever, him alone could vote numerous votes. So they decided even a person with a plot and a person with a with a plantation, they should have equal land. I mean not equal land, but equal voting, um, equal voting papers. For example, you cannot come here and say you have 1,000 acres and you alone have more votes than we because we have plots. That is how the American came to come and decide on the voting pattern that I've just said. Thank you.